We always get questions from people who like to ask, for the year of 2024, how much is the salary that I'm getting so that I will have to start paying taxes? Let us explore these questions today. Now, assume that you are separately assessed. That means you are either single, or even if you're married, you and your spouse are paying tax separately. And even if you're married, let's just assume you do not have any children at the moment. Your chargeable income is at 35,000 ringgit a year. You're going to get something called a tax rebate, and the amount is actually 400 ringgit. Now, the tax rebate is actually a form of discount. So if your tax is at 400 ringgit, and if your rebate is actually a 400 ringgit, then you get a discount from the tax, so you don't have tax to pay. So how much is your chargeable income that your tax will be at 400 ringgit? It will be at 28,300. So with a tax rebate of 400 ringgit, that means your income tax is zero. But that is not the salary that we're talking about now, because you do get tax relief. Now, this tax relief is those things that you see, like personally, government will give you 9,000 ringgit deduction every year. You get relief for your EPF, for your SOCSO. If you buy computers, smartphone, you pay for your broadband, you do medical checkup. These are all examples of things that relief will be given. So we're just going to use a bare minimum situations that you just have your personal deductions of 9,000. Your EPF probably is around max out at 4,000. You're going to claim that. Now, EPF, let's say you might get about 200 according to the salary that we are estimating. Now, the maximum deductions for EPF is up to 350 ringgit. So that will come to a total about 30,200, right? So just now we saw that the chargeable income is around 28,300. If your relief is about 13,002, we work backwards. You are looking at a salary of around 41,005. And that is on the basis that you do not have other income. You do not receive, for example, rental income or commission, just your salary alone. Now, how do you know if your salary is 41,005? Now, what you're seeing behind me is actually this EA form that your boss is going to give you every year to show you the amount of salary that you're getting. So look at this amount. That is the amount that you're looking at, which is about 41,005. So if you get an amount which is higher than that, that's very, very likely that you got a tax to pay. Now, please take note that on the EA form, you might have something called exempt allowances. And these are actually exempt income which does not affect your tax. So don't worry about that figure. So that figure is not affecting your taxes. So you're just looking at the total up there, which is about 41,500. So is it possible for me to earn more than 41,500 a year and yet I don't have taxes to pay? The answer is yes. You just need to have more tax relief. Now, of course, we do not ask you to simply spend your money just for the sake of getting a tax relief and then you're not going to do anything with it. For example, there are people who intentionally go and buy books and yet they don't read the books. It's going to be a wastage. So there are some relief that can be quite beneficial. So for example, if you do not have life insurance, you probably will not claim relief for that 3,000 ringgit that is given under life insurance. So what you can consider is to go for a voluntary EPF contribution. Now again, it's voluntary, not the mandatory portion. So these voluntary EPF contributions, you can contribute up to 3,000 ringgit. And now we know the flexibility of account 3. So even if you contribute more to EPF, you don't really tie up all your money there. You still have a way of withdrawing some of the, well, it's not a lot, but you can still withdraw some of the amount for you to use in the event if you need them. So voluntary EPF is one of the methods. Now next we have actually dental treatment. You might consider go for your dental check and fix up your teeth. You know teeth is actually not a cheap affair, especially when we are old. We are losing our teeth. It affects the way we look. It affects our dignity. So eventually people want to, you can spend a lot of money if you don't take care of your teeth. So it's good to consider utilizing your relief here. If let's say you are having income that's higher than what we saw just now, 41,005. Let's say if you're getting about 42,000 ringgit, you do have an extra 500 ringgit which can cost you to pay taxes and to lose your rebate. So you can see a jump in your income tax. So you might want to consider going for a dental treatment. So just do a dental check and get a receipt to claim your relief. Now, besides that, we also see that sports items are now given a different category of tax relief. In the past, they do allow sports to be claimed under your lifestyle. That means those relief that you use to buy your smartphone, your computer, your broadband, your reading materials, your gym memberships, those days they used to come together. But now the government has separated the sports related relief so that your gym fees, your sports equipments can all come separately under 1,000 ringgit. So if you spend money for your computers, for your tablet, for your smartphone, for your broadband, you can actually have an advantage that there is an additional relief for your sports related items. And there's also a relief that might be beneficial, which is vaccination. Well, we can just take a yearly flu jab, which can help to protect us against all these influenzas and so on. Well, it may not cost exactly 1,000 ringgit, but if let's say you're going to spend 200 ringgit on your flu jab or 100 ringgit on your flu jabs, well, that's still something that you can use to claim tax relief. So let's come back to this again. How much is the salary a month that I have to start paying income taxes? Now remember, if you don't have any additional relief, the minimum that we are looking here is 41,005. So that's the starting point, which comes to about 3,458 ringgit a month. So if your salary is below that, you're definitely safe. If your salary is slightly above that, then please consider how you want to spend some money for purpose that you can claim tax relief. If your salary is way above that, then you can be very sure that you will have tax to pay. Now, the last thing I just want to add here is sometimes your salary is at that borderline level where your employer will actually deduct taxes for you. And even though it's not much, but let's say if they start deducting taxes for you, so what a lot of employees are doing is they don't file their tax return. And there is this rule that the government actually says that if you don't file your tax return, and if you only derive your employment income and your salary has already been deducted taxes, whatever taxes that has been deducted will be treated as an actual tax for your case. Now, in that case, what is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is you might not have tax to pay because of all these relief and deductions available. And if you file your taxes, you will have no tax to pay. And whatever taxes that your boss has deducted for you, the government actually has to refund you. So that can be a good thing. So think about that. Thank you very much.